OMG Becky commented on the YouTube page and asked a question. She said, "Is this a character you play on the way, or the way you are 24/7? It seems too authentic to all be an act." You responded briefly to her. Would you like to expound on that?
Sure. Well, first of all, I'm from Texas, and in Texas we don't play characters, we are characters. So there's that. Did you say about the 24/7?
Yes.
I think it's more like 10-3. And the other 14-4 is when I'm in the house with the doors locked in a moo-moo. So
A caftan?
a caftan. I would say caftan. Carl came in I came in one day and had bought 3 new caftans, and he was like, "Do you buy more moo-moos?" And I was like, "You're gonna think moo-moo when you get the bill from Neiman's." But for that, what did I say, 10-3, that's anytime I'm out of the house or somebody is in the house. The 14-4 is when I'm here with the dogs and Carl and the boys. But the authentic piece, I really love that question coming right now, because I think authenticity is something that people should be looking at right now. I grew up in a world where I was taught that you should not judge a book by its cover. And now I wake up in the 21st century, and the new rule is perception is reality. And that is like a seismic shift in terms of looking at the world. You've got this Rachel Donoval.
Yes.
She's a white lady who's been pretending to be a black lady
Running
for
the NAACP.
NAACP. So her authenticity has been called into question. There are some issues there, I think. Caitlyn Jenner. Did you hear that she went unannounced to a community center in Los Angeles and spoke to some transgender youth? Yes, I love that. Yeah, she apparently was encouraging them to live their truth, which, she's been, 5-10 minutes that she's been I can only hope that her advice to those transgender youth was not to wait until you're 65 years old and it's safe enough for you to be real. Just saying. But as far as, I don't want to leave anybody who's watching this with the idea that I'm comparing those two situations, because they're both very unique, and they both have their own complexities. But they do have the question of what is and what is not authentic. Now, my only experience with inauthenticity, because prior to about the age of 16, I wasn't one of those folks that was trying to figure out how to get out of the closet. I was trying to find a closet big enough to get all this into.
How'd that work out?
It didn't. We didn't. Our house in Tyler, there wasn't a walk-in closet big enough. So from about 16 on, and a lot of the folks that watch these videos have known me, forever. I won't call names because some folks probably don't want to be named just as being part of that crowd. But all kids I went to school with in Tyler and at Centenary, and people I worked with, I think they probably all say, "Oh yeah, that's what you see is what you get." But there were 2 times that I flirted with inauthenticity in my life. One was years ago. I had a new professional kind of engagement I was going into, and I thought, I need to pull this stuff back. I need to pull it back. And so, so I showed up for a couple of days, and I had my hair, and I just brushed it back and, put it back and pulled it into a ponytail. I really did resist the temptation to make a chignon out of it, but and went in, you know, and just wore a little bit of translucent face powder, and I felt so unattractive. And so, like I was trying to pull the wool over somebody's eyes, and nobody was going to buy that.
Right.
And so about the third time somebody came up to me and said, "Do you feel all right? You don't look like yourself today." And I was like, that's it. I was just like, oh, you know, to the devil with this. I'm just going to do my thing and move on. The only other time was after Carl and I had met, and my hair at that time was really, really short and really, really red.
Oh.
And so anyway, I got up one Saturday morning. I had to go back to Tyler where my best friend was doing my hair for me. And so it was Saturday morning, and I was, you know, living in this little one-bedroom condo over on Holland, and standing there in front of the mirror, and, you know, Carl rolled out of bed, and so some folks are completely going to understand what I'm talking about. What is the deal with men finding their beloved in front of the kitchen sink or the bathroom sink? They're going to sidle up behind you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I'm standing there in front of the bathroom mirror, and, you know, and he's like sidled up behind me, and I'm looking at him in the mirror, and all of a sudden he rolls back like this, and I'm like, and he looks at me and he says, "What color is your hair anyway?" And I was like, well, how the hell would I know? And I just thought, you know, busted. I was so busted. That's what inauthenticity will get you. Busted.